La 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 la. La 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 la.
Bambina il telero fido all'echin e a te vicin. Di te chiamando e sospirando aspetta i poverin. La tua faccetta mostrami ch'io baciar senza tardar. La tua boccuccia amor mi cruccia e mi sta a tormentar. Mi sta a tormentar.
Bravo.
Grazie.
I enjoyed it. Tell me something. When you sing, why is the reason that I always have the feeling that you have to go up to the note? Why not singing in one level? Do you think that way or you don't?
I would like to. And then sometimes just in the act of singing I get kind of.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, try to realize that singing is not only a physical thing. What I feel, for instance, when I watched you, before you started, you were not completely ready. You see, the moment you start to hear the music, already we have to feel you're already. What I mean by this, if you're not ready, what will happen? This would be an automatism. But if you're ready, you're always above it. Like for instance, if you notice your high note, you have to do ta, ta, and it should be the opposite. It's supposed to be ta, ta. And this is what creates the problem. Can we just try just that high note for 1 minute?
Yeah, that's senza
tardar. Just think the way you just said it for me. Senza. It should be senza. That's the opposite. You have to think of the opposite. Let's try.
Okay.
Just the phrase there.
La tua faccetta mostrami. Okay.
La tua faccetta.
You see, right there, la, and instead of being la, I would like to feel la. You know, prepare it, that you bring more or less, you bring the voice higher. Now what happened? You sing it very calmly, very easy. No, think the opposite. You know, sometimes we think because we're doing that, it's much more difficult. It's the opposite. It's to go up and go up. That's very difficult. But if you're up to go down, that's easy. And it's only a frame of mind.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Same.
La.
Can you try to think even more? La, no, la,
okay.
La, it's half.
Okay.
La tua faccetta mostrami ch'io vuoi baciar senza tardar.
Yeah.
You got the message?
That's what I would have liked to done the first time.
I know that, but it's only a matter of mind over matter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we do. We think because it's the voice, it's got to be simple. Yes, it's got to be simple, but at the same time, your mind can create a simplicity, but at the same time, put it where it belongs.
Mm-hmm. Simple.
The whole thing should be exactly the same thing, you know? Give me the first phrase, just for the fun. Okay? Try it. No. Play me from the very beginning.
I'm just going
to... Hold it. Now, I want you to get ready for this.
Okay.
you're down here, and you have to bring it, and it's got to be the opposite. Now, you watch me, just for the fun. Just here. Just watch me here.
Okay.
I'm not going to sing it, but I'm going to show you the preparation. Play the beginning. You see, I'm already...
Yep, I saw that. Yep.
That's what you have to do.
I see what yours. Okay.
Yeah. Once more.
It's just a simple.
Yes.
There we are.
Don't drop it. Hold it. Start again. You got to stay. You know the funniest thing about it, when you sing, you start here.
Yep.
You never go down.
Never up.
It's from beginning of the opera, that's where you are, and you go till the end of the opera.
Yeah.
And that will make you 100 times more easy for you to do the opera that way. Do it again.
Okay.
Yes.
Colombina il tenero fido Arlecchín, e a te.
You see what I hear? E a te,
Yep.
e a te.
Okay, we didn't. Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
It's mind over
Yep.
matter.
Yep. Just these little habits that
That's all right.
go right over there.
Try it again.
Okay.
Colombina il tenero fido Arlecchín, e a te vicino.
You see? Mind doesn't want to do it. And that is...
Mine is.
Not... I could not do it. But if
Yeah.
I do the opposite, I'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Once more. Good. Now, for you, hold it for 1 minute. Watch me. I feel you do. Then it goes. Then. Oh!
Again.
You understand?
Yep. Yep.
You really have to stay there. And when you sing, Colombia.
Okay, let's start that again. Right from
Yeah.
the beginning, right? That's
Once more.
also high with it.
Good.
Colombina il tenero fido Arlecchín, e a te vicin.
I rest my case.
Yep.
Giunse al fine il momento che godrò senza affanno in braccio all'idol mio. Timide corre, uscite dal mio petto, a turbar non venite il mio diletto. Oh, come par che all'amoroso fuoco l'aminità del loco, la terra, il ciel risponda. Come la notte i furti miei riseconda.
I was noticing one thing. We had spoken once upon a time about the breath. Why don't you use the breath as a musical breath?
Yeah.
Now what you're doing, you're taking a breath, like each phrase is a breath. No. Use it. You understand what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I do.
Now you're working against yourself. Could you give me practically I think it's the last two phrases of this.
Okay.
If you would give me that breath, it would have made the whole difference.
Yeah.
Plus
It felt a
on
little
top-
stiff.
Yes, your voice is a gorgeous voice. Except my only criticism about it right now is you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we try? Give me the last two phrases. You know the last two things you did. Yeah. Keep
From the
going,
first
keep going. No, the second time.
The second time?
Yes.
Ti voglio affronte in
Let's see.
Yes.
He.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Ah,
Yeah.
you understand
Yeah.
what the voice do? It seems like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
but that's what you have to do.
Okay. Yeah,
Your-
the
your
other had,
vo-
my shoulders got stiff too.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
It's because you're taking a little breath. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it was not in my body.
But if you do the opposite, you do. Da, 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 da. It gives you a tremendous amount of voice. Try it again. The same thing.
Ti
No,
ti voglio,
even more than that.
ti voglio.
What you take.
Is what you give.
How long is that phrase? It's
It's very short. Yeah.
You're gonna take a breath there. That means don't take a breath like you're gonna do the whole phrase together. Good.
Okay. Ti
No.
voglio.
You see, you're taking the air and you're stopping.
Oh, okay.
You're
I
doing.
see what you mean.
Da, da, da. But if you
Yeah.
would do the opposite, you would
want-
do
Ti voglio
even
affronte.
more. Liberate yourself. Ti voglio.
So, in your what you want in the breath is that it keeps expanding, and then when I sing, it expands
Absolutely.
even more. So
Absolutely.
it always.
And not only the expansion of the intake is the expansion of what you have. You know, you do, for instance, you take the air, huh? Now you
Okay.
have all that expansion. Stay with it.
Yeah.
It's gonna give you like a quarter more, maybe a third more voice than what you're giving me. And the quality, you'll be very surprised how much you're gonna increase the quality of your voice for that reason. Now what you're doing, you're minimizing, and what is happening, it's like you're just barely, pung, pung, pung. No, the other one
Yeah.
is,
I'm
it's
keeping
like the
it too
violin,
much
you know,
in the
the
frame.
violin, that zing. Exactly. Look at the violinist when he plays, the great violinist. They don't play, ding. No, they go.
No, they all have this.
zzz.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think they do that? Because to give this amplification. Us, we have it. It's right there. Do it with the breath.
Okay.
I would say even Paul could do the same. Try. No.
I know. I felt the stop. Yeah,
Think.
I didn't have that.
Do me a favor, without singing, just do the breath. Ah.
Ah.
No, that is. Ah. Ah.
Ah.
That one.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Good. Let's try it again.
Oh. Ti voglio affronte.
You could give me even 5 times more.
5.
Now, for you, do it as an exercise, not as an interpretation or anything like that. But try to see how much could you give more.
Okay.
When you come here, don't stop. Ah.
Ah.
Ah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It felt.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Like you're yawning, you know.
Ah.
Ah.
Ti voglio. It felt. Ti.
You see, your T is always too soon.
Too
It's
soon?
never in the complete amplification of your
So
breath.
you want me to breathe way before?
It's not a matter of breathing a lot more before, but to make sure that when you start to exhale that you're really going in an amplification and not thing.
Ti.
No. T.
T.
Ah.
Ti.
Good.
Okay, I was dropping.
That's right.
Okay.
Jack.
Ti.
Do you remember something we had talked once upon a time? Rotation.
Yeah.
And where
Yeah.
did I sing? Where did I say you have to sing?
You have to sing
Hold it,
here.
hold it. Well, don't go so fast.
No.
Go slowly. And where?
T.
No, you see? No, you were T.
It's T.
T down here.
Okay.
Try it.
Actually, you know, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing T here because
That's-
of the going down, of the going up. I wanted to T va la fronte.
I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
Think in your mind. T, but T.
Okay.
The height of the voice, you go, naturally what you do is right. I don't criticize that.
Okay.
But at the same time, you liberate yourself, but your voice remain here, but you go T. That is the thing that is a little bit difficult, confusing to try to understand, but that is the only thing to do.
Okay. I'll try.
What's wrong?
T.
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 No, why T?
No.
T.
T.
Ah, your body, try to think.
T.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not this. The head too. Ah, now you're talking.
Okay.
Good. Let's try it. Give us something. Even more. T. No. You feel it where it is?
Yes, I heard.
In.
In a
Can you liberate it? Give me a little bit like an H.
In a
Wait a minute. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
You have more or less what we are always afraid of, to liberate the voice before you start. What you did before, you were holding the voice. Now, you liberate the voice.
Yeah.
Not with a big, no, but you liberate the voice. Because the chord, remember one thing, the chord, they have to vibrate.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? You go on a count, you double the intensity on them. Now, what is happening before you start? If they're like this, they cannot vibrate.
Yeah.
And they stay like this. No, you have to get them like a little souplesse to be able to go. And that's the thing, to liberate that, that split minute, split second before the moment of the actual making the sound. Once more.
That felt different. It felt wide.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
It felt like.
That's right. But now do me a favor, don't look at the floor.
Well. Okay.
If you remember that too.
Yeah.
Never look at the floor. Never. It's
the
it's the worst thing you can do. Just notice what I do at the very beginning when I'm going to sing Eri 2. The breath is, like I said, the breath is not a matter of you breathing to survive or to live. No, it's a musical breath. Usually people use the breath not as a musical breath, but it's very important to feel it. It's a palpitation. Would you play it again? You see? Alzati. You have to do exactly the same thing with, what is the phrase she...
Tipo la fronte.
Yes, it's got to be exactly the... Ti vo la fronte. Once more. You go straight. Ti. Ti. If you wanted, you could even relax even more. Let it happen even more. Okay? No. Give me some. You see, you don't withhold the air.
Okay.
And that is the thing that you always do.
Okay.
You're putting the brake. No. You know, the thing is, people don't realize you're always gonna have enough air, not by trying to withhold the air, the opposite.
Yeah.
You always have air if you give the air. But if you stop the air, you seem to be short. And that's the thing I noticed all during the aria before.
Yes, I felt a little.
But it's because of that.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid to give air. Give air. And it's very, you know, it's very surprising how much it's suggestive to the people that are listening to you to see, to feel, and to receive this kind of
Yeah.
Try it. And don't be afraid, give me.
I really feel like I'm...
Would you do me a favor? Use your hand.
Okay.
Your hand will indicate to you. Boom. Okay. No. Don't do that. Go.
Okay.
Not.
Okay.
The breath is a rotation. It never stops. Ha. 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 You see? No. Do me a favor. Do it from the face before. Feel that? Yeah. And I'm going to tell you one thing. You will be very surprised when you're going to have a chance to listen to it. Yeah. You're going to notice that your voice, there's something different in your voice.
Oh,
and you're
sure.
going to, I'm positively sure, you will realize because of that. The richness of your voice is made by the breath.
Yeah.
You minimize.
It feels smaller inside, so obviously there's more out.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yes. And not to be afraid of that. Believe me, less afraid of it, better it is. More afraid, more you're minimizing. This is why you got a lot of people that get out of breath.
Yeah.
Can you imagine life without a voice, life without singing, without voice production? Anytime you turn on the TV, it would be mute. Even as a pianist, I find that the vocal arts are very important. My piano teachers used to tell me, sing at the piano. Arthur Rubinstein had a phrase, I learned how to play the piano from the great singers of my time. I did a little bit of research, and one of my favorite composers, Frédéric Chopin, had said, the fingers must do the singing, and if you wish to play the piano, you must learn how to sing. And I find that I'm using exactly the same words to my students. There's so many similarities between piano technique, what you have to do to get a beautiful sound, support, relaxation, using the wrist for breathing, and using music as a language, the same as you do for voice. I had an advantage. I married an opera singer, Louis Quilico, and he's been giving me little hints and told me to be master of my own body, use your brains, and he established 9 laws of singing. And I will give the floor to him. The first law was how to stand on your feet, and why is it important to do so?
Well, let's put it this way. When you build a house, you start from the ground up. And the voice is exactly the same thing. This is the big problem with singers in general. They've learned one thing. You make a sound, but what creates that sound? What is the thing that is imperative for it? And this is the thing. If you, for instance, you don't know how to stand, and I'm sorry to say it, for instance, I saw the 3 tenor, and I watched even the way they were standing. And their feet have, because you have to find a certain buoyancy. And if you don't have flexibility in your feet, another thing, it's not only the buoyancy, but I will show you what I mean by this. Now, for instance, if I stand on my 2 feet, now my whole body is completely, there's a tension from my head to toe. You feel that? Now, just watch the top of my thorax here. You will notice one thing. The moment I move, automatically the old tensions disappear. That means you have to take away the tension from up here to be able to transport it somewhere. Where do you transport? You transport it on the leg that you're standing on. Now the thing is, it's very important, this leg that you are standing on, you're not only standing on the leg, you are really standing on the ball of the field. That means that gives you your buoyancy you want. If you are on the heel, there's no buoyancy. You have to feel, more or less, there's another thing that is very imperative for that, is that you have to feel like a boxer. A boxer is never with his heel in the back, you know, boom. You see, so once in a while you see a boxer that stands that way, but in general, you see the boxer standing in a certain way to have completely buoyancy of his body. And this is, for me, the most important thing. You change leg, that you are on this leg, you go back, there, relaxation. Or I go back, you notice that tension come up. Now I'm going to move the other leg. Tack. There it is. But always on the ball of the feet. Always on the ball of the feet. There's one thing about our voice that we never understood, that 95% of the people don't understand, that we are exactly like a violin. We have 2 chords, and we have the air. That is the bow. Now, what is the most important thing? Is it the bow or the air? Give me an answer on this.
The bow or the air? The bow is the air.
The air, yes.
The bow is more important.
No, it's the opposite. The chords are the ones that dictate exactly. Exactly. Because what is happening? If you give me too much hair on the chord, it'll vibrate. Yeah. The violin, what do you think? When you see a great violinist, you see him, he's got practically nothing that holds here.
Yeah.
Right? That's very flexible for him. Then on top of that, see him, the way he takes the bow, the way he puts it on the... the other day I was looking at a concert, and it was so amazing the way he would deposit his bow on the chord. And I says, my God, if singer could understand, vision what is the connection between your chord, your air, the chord of the violin, the bow of the violin, it's exactly the same thing, you know? For instance, when they play, they don't do like this. They go like this. Now, there's a lot of hair between the bow and the chords. Us, it's exactly the same thing. It's to be able to translate into your mind that to give an opening for the air to come, then get back together, and then the air comes out. And the moment it touch your chord, it does exactly like you if you try to touch your eyes. Huh? And automatically, the air doesn't keep on pushing. No, the chord says stop. And this is now we're going to talk about the breathing after and all that. What next?
The next thing, since we're talking about the body, being master of the body and controlling the body, yes, and talking about the violin rather than the bow, which is important.
Yeah.
Support. Can you tell us how you get support for a singer?
Can you explain me what you feel about the support yourself?
Well, when I take a breath in, there's a lot of things in what you were saying.
Explain me, yes.
Okay. I take a breath in. It's very important the way I'm standing. I feel that the support is almost coming through the ground as much as anything. You take a breath in, it engages, the breath comes out, and the voice just floats on it, as in a...
I'm going to tell you one thing. You're complicating the thing too much. Because your body, just feel your body. What is your body? And you know the functioning of the support is a very simple thing. It's the same thing as the shock absorber on a car. What is the shock absorber does to the car? Stabilize all the time. What do you think? The support is exactly the same thing.
Just stabilizing breath.
Now put your hand on my hand. Okay? Now press.
Yeah.
This is what we usually do. Now press slowly.
Yeah.
And that's what it does. And all of a sudden it comes to the point where the voice will start to go in motion. All of a sudden it stops there, the air stops.
Yeah.
There's no more pressure on the air. And that is the thing. We always figured that, for me, it's the motion of it. Because the thing is, it's not to try to say, it's the tonsil, it's this, it's that. The motion, to try to feel it goes down, and it's a membrane that really goes down. Like, for instance, the big problem is, if you keep, like a lot of people talk about the support, you pull in. That's the support. What do?
You tense.
How do you breathe with this?
Well,
Finish.
you can't, yeah.
That's it. You have to be free, and that is the freedom. For instance, your lungs cannot go up, cannot go back, because you got the what do you call
Ribs.
the ribs,
Yeah.
you got the shoulder and everything.
Yeah.
What is the functioning of it's to go down. Give
Drops,
space.
yeah.
Give space forward, backward maybe a little bit, but down especially.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that very often singers don't understand, that they think that they fill in by, no, it's the opposite. Your eyes are very, very capricious. You practically cannot touch them. The air does exactly the same thing with your lungs. If by a mistake of your mind that you do, you're stopping the air. Because what is happening, this is what happened. It's not exactly the lungs that would stop, but the cord will stop you. And you put an obstruction. And how do you fight that obstruction? Only one way. Eliminate it. And that's it.
Alzati, là tuo figlio a te concedo riveder, nell'ombra, nel silenzio, là.
This note is not good for a simple reason. When I started the aria, I was singing too much for myself. And it lasted practically till the end of the aria, I have to say. And it's a simple thing. I could not open my throat enough because I was trying too much to try to think of technique and all that, and that's very bad. You know, even good singers sometimes take habit.
Ben altro sangue a tergierde si l'offesa, il sangue tuo.
The fourth law is how to open the throat.
Good. You see, the thing is that most of the singers don't know that you have to open your throat when you sing. There's a lot of people. Some of them, they know. Some of them, they're doing it without even thinking, and it's there. Okay? Now, very simple thing. This is a muscle. Okay? Now, watch what happened. Now, I didn't do this with the air. Huh? Now, watch what happened if I do a sound. Close. But if I open it, the point is, by opening the throat, you become in control not only of the opening of the throat, it creates your tension that you're looking for the chord. Just try to understand one thing that is very simple. I'm jumping maybe or all that stuff, but this is your throat. It's very simple. This is your chord. Now they're like this, huh? Now all of a sudden, you're opening up the larynx. See what happened to your chord? There it is. And already 50% is done for you. But if a person doesn't know how to open their throat, and I'm sorry to say it, no matter who you are, and no matter who is the singer, and bring me Mr. Pavarotti, bring me Mr. Placido Domingo right here in front of me, and they will not deny this. It is not possible. That's why they became great singers like they are, because they discovered this opening.
Nemico della patria e vecchia fiaba che beatamente.
Bad habit in this is that at certain moment you will notice that the voice open and close on me, and there is nothing I can do about it. My mind doesn't seem to be able to control. You see, like tradito, that is completely closed. And it says this is not dignified of stating that it's a good note for that reason. Like this one, costume, that's wide open, and that is not good at all. I don't vocalize before I sing. But I don't vocalize, but I do something else. It's like she has to play the piano. Huh? Us, we have to sing. Now, just think to open your throat. Now, what are you doing? You're doing this to the chord. And that's what's important. Like they say, you know, a violin has to play. The violinist has to play the violin during the day. Why? It's not for the violin. The violin doesn't have to be warmed up. Like the piano is there. The pianist comes in. Yes, sometimes very often they will tune because the piano goes out of tune. But a violinist is going to tune his violin just before. But he doesn't play he could take any violin and play with it and then do a concert with another violin. The violin doesn't have to be warmed up. I have to say that my feeling is ourself, mind over matter, will give you exactly what you want. As you might notice, I started out of pitch. That is a very simple reason for that. I was not ready to start the concert. We had a little problem, and that is the reason. Another thing, the throat was not enough open, all during the aria practically. Right now, you see, I'm getting back to pitch. Now something is starting to function again. All of a sudden, my mind says, start. What I'm saying right now, there's a lot of teachers that's going to criticize this, but I don't care, because I made my career on this. It's the day I discovered how to open my throat. And I'm going to tell you one thing, I had to work very hard. I had signed a contract with an opera company, and I knew I could not fulfill my part, because I was not ready vocally. And all of a sudden, I said, I got 6 months, and without teacher, without nobody, I said, I'm going to discover what is the voice.
Before we go on to the breathing, are there any questions?
I do have one. You mentioned that you spent about 6 months in front of a wall until you finally found the proper sound. In the light of that, basically what you're saying is that one can go to as many lessons as they want. If they're not willing to take responsibility for their body, it won't happen.
This is a beautiful answer, because that's the thing I always say to the pupil. The real teacher is not me. It's not the teacher you have in front of you. It's yourself. You know, it's like a doctor who wants to become a doctor. He has to learn by himself how to cut. And that us singers, we expect our teacher, after 50 years, he's going to be there holding us by the hand.
On the stage.
Yeah, really.
Exactly.
You don't realize how alone you are.
But that's the point, you know, because the thing is, just try to realize one thing. To learn how to sing, it's exactly like when you're going to walk on that stage. Nobody is there to help you. Everything is done by yourself. It's a very lonely life, I would say, but it's a marvelous life.
So in a way, if it doesn't work, there's no use in blaming the teacher. You just did not do your part of the
I would
the
go
work.
as far as to say that I think there is more bad pupil than teacher,
Yeah.
or bad singers, call it the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, the thing is, there's one thing that you have to learn. I think it's a good thing that I should say it now. Don't get accustomed to your sound. Because the moment you start to get accustomed to your sound, automatically that is the sound you want to do. And you know how many times I saw pupil giving me that is the sound they want to hear. And I said, no, it is not possible. I said, maybe the sound that you don't want to hear, that you want to be not part of it, it's the right sound. I said, how are you going to do? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I want to sing. I says, good, give up. No, it's the only way.
Yeah.
Oh, getting back to the sound, there's one thing that
To
you
the breath,
always,
you mean?
well, even before the breath, since we were talking about the sound, the head position, because the larynx
thank you very much.
collapses. I've been a good pupil.
My conscience. The thing is that I have to say, I have to be very careful. The head has to be exactly in the right position. And do me a favor, buy the last tape that the three tenor did, because that is a hell of a good lesson. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, when you look at Placido Domingo, you look at Luciano Pavarotti, Carreras, I would say maybe he was trying to use maybe certain things, but look at these two great monsters, I call them monsters. They know how to sing. Just watch what they're doing with their head. You're going to notice one thing, the head never moves.
Yeah.
And that is a very simple thing, because these two little chords are larynx. Maybe the larynx, let's say the larynx is long like this. You cannot make it long like this. And you have a lot of people, that's what they do. They either sing or they sing ah. And I'm going to give you a simple example. Now, if you listen very carefully, don't sing, but just listen carefully. You're going to hear when I take the breath. Now, I'm going to bring the head down. I try to open the throat. There's nothing I can do. Now, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go up. There's nothing I can do. But now it's normal. Now watch it again. You see, you move your head, I would say you move your head about maybe a 16, an eighth of an inch. You're out of I call it the socket. That is the danger. You have to be exactly right on the socket. And watch Pavarotti singing, watch Placido singing. It's exactly the same thing. If they're a little bit tired, sometimes they might raise the head like that to maybe to stop the voice going, but that could be dangerous. But they don't do it. They know what they have to do vocally. I'm not criticizing the way they do the singing. No, it's the opposite. They know what to do. And these are the people, for young singers, it's to watch. For you, what is the resonance? Tell me.
What is the resonance? My whole body, my head.
Well, I say that obviously the sound is made there, and then it has to be resonated into somewhere, and that is up to you where it goes. If you can have some type of opening for it to go.
That is not bad, but the real resonance of your voice is the chord. Because you take off the tension of the chord, you've got no resonance. You know, they always say, put it in the resonance, put it in the resonance, you know?
No, that's where it goes bounce after it's produced.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for instance, I'm just going to show you. Now I'm going to loosen the voice, the chord. Huh? There's no resonance. But if I tension the chord, I will give you. That's nothing with the resonance. The resonance is a cavity.
Yeah.
Now I'm coming to the resonance after this. But the real production of the resonance, it's thanks to the chord. It's the chord that makes it. That's why you have to be very careful, because a lot of singers, they think, well, you got a big voice, you got to make a big voice. No. Well-produced voice. Look at the violin. The violin is not a big instrument, but it still makes a good sound. How did it make it sound? Because it's got its cavity, but it's not that he's pushing in it. No, it's only the vibration of the chord and the bow. That's all it is. Through a piece, what do you call it?
Bridge?
The bridge.
Yeah.
Through the bridge, it gives that vibration on the rest of the violin. But the violin himself, it is not. It creates the sound, yes, but it's done from ear, communicating to this bridge and to the bridge to the violin. That's why the resonance of the violin is done by the chord. That's why you got a good violinist that's going to play the violin. All of a sudden, you're going to hear a sound like you say, "My God, I don't know where does that sound come from? How does he make that sound?" He's got his own way to do it. And maybe his way to do it is by less pressure on his bow, as least as possible, but to have more vibration from it. And this is where the great artists become great, because they discovered things that other people, they expect a teacher to give it to them, but they don't want to go and search for it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that I came back to a little bit to my own self at this moment of the evening, and you will hear the credo. The credo is already in a much better spirit. If you notice the interpretation, not only the interpretation, but the vocal approach is very much what it should be. There's not opening, closing. You see, that is what is singing about.
You promised to tell me the story about breathing, having the little pipe between the two front teeth.
Well, before, remember when I asked you about say yes? Well, if you really understood the meaning of how you take the air and you say the yes, once upon a time, I was thinking, like, it brought me to this, I had a funny feeling that I had a little pipe just between my teeth here. And when I would take the air, I would shoot the air out. Never take the air. Not.
Oh.
I shoot the air out. And what is happening by shooting the air out?
Oh, I feel it right away.
It's a funny thing, you know.
Yeah.
More or less, you shoot the air out. The voice is here. The voice. This is the voice. You shoot the air out. The air catches the voice and goes with it. Yes. Yes. I come back to what we said before, a rotation. And one of the most important things, the most marvelous thing that was invented in this world, it's the wheel. And the voice is exactly like the wheel. Follow the motion of the wheel. Not the wheel, if you back up the car, it's one thing. But if you go forward, think about it. This is the motion of. Now, usually, at 95 to 97% of the singers, when they take the air, they go. Now, they suck the air.
Or they swallow it?
Yes. They suck, I call it suck. But they swallow the air. It goes, if I make it grosso modo, Now, what is happening with this?
It's going in, and then it has to stop, and then it goes
How
back
does
up.
it stop?
It reaches the end.
It stops one way.
Yeah, that way.
Now, take the air. Hold it. What stops it?
Here.
It's your chord.
Because when you said this thing, and I tell you, I did that, and this, I didn't feel the tension that I just felt
but
there.
I'm talking about the way they would breathe usually. What is happening? This is what is happening. They breathe.
Yeah, it shuts.
Yeah.
Now, they want to sing. And you have a lot of people sing that way.
That doesn't do it.
You cannot do it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that, I call this the rotation. Instead of taking the air, the rotation of the air this way. Now, when you take the rotation of the air this way, this is what they have to do. And they have to push. Now, if you do the opposite, you go with the rotation. Now, watch what happens. Nothing stopped. Yes. Yes. It's exactly the same thing. That little word, yes, feel what it does to you.
I assume then you never have, like sometimes we sing, and if we do that, if we have a very, very short time to breathe, it's just not possible. But I assume that if you go like that, you always...
This way?
Yeah.
That's right.
So if you can like even
it's not possible the other way.
cut. If you have a long run, you can cut without it showing a lot. And if you have to breathe like that, you'll have a big...
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, the breathing is very important in the singing. It's to create, to take off the tension. And my feeling of me, everybody can think the way they want, but for me, my feeling of it, look very carefully at the rotation. This is the rotation, huh? This is the rotation. Now, what happens when I breathe? This is my chord, okay? Now, this is what I feel. Actually feel, huh? Watch what happens.
Yeah.
Now, what happened here? The air goes in. The air goes in. But if this stays...
Yeah.
Do it the way you want it. The friction here. And the moment that the air finished coming in, the chord does. Tick. Now, what is happening? Don't want to come out.
Sounds
Then
like
you'll
some
feel
tenors I've
sore
heard.
after a while, too.
A lot of singers, I have to say it. But when you hear people like Placido Domingo and Luciano Pavarotti, I have to say one thing. You watch that, you listen to it, you say to yourself, how they do it, that's what they do. I have to tell you that I've searched, and I really searched, and I came out to the deduction that is the only way to do it. And anybody will tell me the contrary, I don't give a hoot, because me, it's only for 40, 45, well, if I count with my younger years, it's exactly about 63 years now that I've been singing. And the voice is still there. I just finished to sing at the Met, no? I just finished to do Tosca at the Met in the fall. I just did then I go to Israel to do wife, and I'm going back to the Metropolitan to do Pagliacci in the fall. Then I go to Israel to do the Bar de Seville, and so on and so on.
Da